you and your wife, Sheila, has been quote unquote couple goals. You feel what I'm saying? From the outside looking in, from the fitness, from the faith, from really being emotionally attached. How has that, process been, especially being labeled another oxymoron, a rapper with having, marriage be the core essence of who you are and what you represent?
Man, shout out to my wife, man. And what's so crazy, bro, is like we don't even aim to be that. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't even want to be couple goals or anything like that because we're not perfect people, right? But marriage has been a really beautiful thing for me. It hasn't been easy to navigate at all. You know what I'm saying? But it's taught me a lot about myself. It's taught me a lot about how to treat people. And ultimately, like, we're mirrors of each other. You see what I'm saying? So, I love the fact that she holds me to the standard of who I say that I am. You see what I'm saying? So, for me, man, it was I just think it was important, man. For me, like, having the money, having the cars, and having the success, dog, and then coming home and having nobody, like, really mess with me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was a big thing for me. So having her come into my life, man, and finding partnership was just incredible. Yeah. It allowed me to do what I do. It allowed structure and foundational pieces for my children, dog. It allowed a stronger relationship with my kids, So it's just worked wonders, and it's made my music better because the person becomes better. The sound and everything that they touch becomes better too. So
I want to stay here real quick. Did you come from a married household? Like, were your parents together?
Yeah.
Was her parents together?
But my parents weren't together. Let me clarify that.
Okay.
My mother was married. My mother was always a married woman. My mother married my dad, and they were together for a while, and then they separated. My dad cheated on my mom, they separated, whatever. My dad went his own way. Then my stepdad showed up into the picture. Okay. And so they got married, and they were together for like 14, 15 years. Yeah. So I've always seen marriage. Maybe not a healthiest version of marriage, but I've seen it. Yeah.
But what about her situation?
Her situation, she didn't see marriage like that growing up in that way. Her mother... Well, her mom and her dad had separated, so her mom had things that she needed to work through. Her mom did the very best that she could, you know. But her coming up was very different than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, for her, she had a lot of freedom, right? There's a lot of things that she could do, right? Her mom was, probably more busy and working and stuff like that. So her dynamic of just being raised, she was more vocal about her situation, more vocal about what she was doing, worked earlier. So she was much more active, and it's like that for, women.
No, for sure. The reason why I ask that is because I find a commonality in people in relationships where it's two things that can spark a healthy relationship and a good relationship, or a bad relationship or situation, right? I see, more times than not, individuals who have seen it or witnessed, their parents to stay together or to be together turn out one way, and then another one. That's not to say that they don't turn out in a healthy way. They say, I don't want that, what I witnessed, so therefore I'm gonna fight for this even more. Right. Two situations that can spur good things, and I'm always intrigued to ask people in relationships, what was their story of growing up and seeing, what that impacted how they are, still in that day-to-day process.
Yeah, bro. So for me, I seen the marriage, right? I seen that dynamic. But, it was toxic though too, in the same token. You know what I'm saying? My mom is an aggressive woman, man. My mama a dog, she in the hood, man. So like, my mom like that. She's like Miss Social Butterfly. She's very familiar in the hood, very familiar in our community. So my mom was very vocal about the things that she wanted. She was very much like, hey bro, you come home, put that check on the table, homie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, very much that, like, bring that check to the crib,
Bring that bacon, bitch.
Bring that bacon home, you know what I'm saying? And so, my stepdad he did the best that he could, man, but he used to fall short sometimes, you see what I'm saying? So in moments where he falls short, I felt like my mom would come through in a very aggressive way, you know what I'm saying? In terms of what verbally, in terms of what she expected, and what she felt like she desired at that time from him, you know what I'm saying? So, it was a lot of yelling, a lot of arguing, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in the household and stuff like that. I grew up in obviously household of whoopings and all of that. So my household was aggressive. Yeah. You feel me? And I didn't love that. I didn't love the way sometimes she treated my stepfather. You see what I'm saying? I didn't love their dynamic because I felt like he just cared and loved so much. You know what I'm saying? And So yeah, there was things that I seen, man, the things that he would also do and like how he would treat himself. And I was like, man, I don't want a dynamic like that. Like I want to be married, but I want something that's healthy where we can communicate, talk, and just be honest with each other, man.
Man, I think conversations like this need to happen more in our community, from single people to married people to people in relationships or to people who just don't even know what they actually want. Because I was just in Florida for a tournament with my boys, and I was having a conversation, and it's crazy. Man, shout out to my team who's been able to help me create this platform of Funky Friday, also with 4th and 1. And everywhere that I go, everybody would say, yo, put me on the podcast, bro, put me on the show, man. And my whole thing, I always tease, and my reply will be, are we gonna go viral? You know what I'm saying? Because ratings impact revenue, you know what I'm saying? So with that, I ended up having a very honest, vulnerable conversation with a young woman, right? Didn't necessarily get her name, and even if I did, I would not say her name, but she said that she's been with her person for 17 plus years. And this is the kicker. She admitted to cheating on him, right? And I asked her this question. I said, did you cheating on your husband, was that impacted by him cheating first, or was that something that you really wanted to do? And she replied, well, he cheated first. I say all that to say, oftentimes when you're in a situation and you're hurt, that shows the true person in you, right? It's this navigation that a person may have, and they have to ask themselves, is this something that I want to do, or is this something that I have to retaliate to do? Either way, you have to come to grips with yourself. I was talking to this young lady, and she said, above all, we still stayed together through the ups, through the downs. And I think that was so beautiful to stay together. And I question a lot of relationships today. This is coming from an unmarried man. This comes from a person that is in a relationship. But I will say, what's your staying power as an individual? Because everybody gets married because of the potential in a person. They fall in love, and it was like, oh my God, this honeymoon phase, but that's not what marriage is about. That's not what relationships is about. That's in no kinky or no funny mess. In any relationship, you know, with your partners, your homeboys, you know, business situations, you know, intimate relationships, there's going to be ups and downs that you're going to have to answer this question. Am I going to fight for this situation? Right. There's multiple people that have come into my life, male and female, like I said, no kinky stuff, that it's like partners that I've been cool with, that it's like, bro, we done went this way because we don't have a lot of things in common now.
Right.
And we're not fighting for each other. It's like, hey, bro, that's just how we talk. When you start losing those kind of conversations and you start finding your partner to be a stranger, or even your girlfriend, or even the person that you're sharing a bed with as a stranger, that's when you gotta really tap in before you tap out.
Right.
So when you're asking those conversations, when I'm asking these questions, I'm really trying to really penetrate the ideas. Like, is this really what you wanted to do? Or you was forced into this? And I say all that to say, how have you been able to battle temptation in your relationship?
Great question, bro. Well, for me, battling the temptation, so this is my output, my look on how I see that with the temptation thing, if I'm being real. So obviously, before my wife came into my life, I was the boy. You know what I'm saying? So I've had my fair share of women doing whatever I want, boom, boom, having fun, whatever. I learned very earlier on, bro, like that I had the power in that. So I was never the type of man that just wanted to share myself with a bunch of women. I always felt like I was a man of value, and I always seen that once you connect with somebody on that intimate level like that, it changes the circumstances of things. And that didn't always work out well for me. So a part of my change and evolution was for me realizing that that's a part of my power. You know what I'm saying? And I can't just get that out to bam, 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 bam. I can't just get that out to anybody. And this is just coming in the game because I always felt like what made me step out of the game with that, of just knowing of like, bro, they gonna always be there. Like I'm gonna be in the game, whatever, I'm always be me. Like the females, the hoes, whatever, that's gonna be there. Like it's no matter what you do in the world, like they're gonna be there. And if you turn your eye, you tune yourself to that frequency, they're gonna be there. So for me, I already had that strength in terms of the temptation aspect of it. So me, that's actually the easier part for me, bro. To be honest, dog. So when I got into a situation, there is, like, for my wife, first of all, I'm always like analyzing people, and I call forth my wife. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things in my life I call forth on. I pray about it and I call it forth. So it's not like just a shock. You know what I mean? So I started positioning myself, even when I was with the mother of my children, and me and her just, you know what I mean? I'm pulling up at her house 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, seeing my kids sleep. That dynamic wasn't healthy for me, dog. So I realized, I'm like, you can't do this. You know what I'm saying? You can't move like that. So realizing, I'm like, what if they did? Like, what if your daughter was someone like this and the man was showing up at these particular hours? So she was the first change to that in terms of recognizing the power that I have by retaining, you see what I'm saying, by keeping that. You feel me? Because now I got to say so, and the power to be able to say, yes, I want to do it, and not you just shake in my face, and then now I feel like, now I'm turned up. It's like, nah, I got the power to decide, like, to see that and say that it's beautiful, and to decide to say that now I don't want to indulge in that. So in terms of being in a marriage, for me, like I told myself, I'm gonna take that serious. I don't play with marriage. I'm not that type of guy. I don't play with, you know what I'm saying? I'm very intentional when I do something, dog. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, if we're gonna get married, we're gonna do this, we locking in. She came into my life. And so for me, working through different things, like I might have, you know, there might be issues where I might be feeling lax sometime in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I like to get down. You know what I'm saying? Wifey might be like, hey man, I'm only like 2, 3, you feel me? I'm like 5, 6 times. You know what I'm saying? So it might be a little lack in that area, but I also still have to recognize, and for me, look at me and say, all right, what's in you that maybe you need to deal with, or maybe you need to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's your relationship with this particular thing? But also know that you don't own her body, you don't own. So, you know, so thinking about that type of stuff. But for me, man, I care more about my legacy. I care more about being a great person than just like running around with this female or like doing this particular thing. Like, so that's how I hold out on the temptation, bro. I respect mine no matter where I go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, how you do one thing is how you do everything, bro. So how I am with my wife, it's the same way I'm gonna treat another. You know what I'm saying? Like, I treat everybody with respect and love. Feel me?